I think we did it. We've started on time. That
Yes.
never happens. Hey, everybody, welcome back. And actually, this is two welcome backs because it's been a couple of weeks since we've done this because you've been gone. So
I've been
welcome
gone.
back, Pep.
Thank you.
Pep was on a little trip to Seattle, and you've gotten back. Was it travel fine?
Oh, yeah. Well, I had 2 overnight stays in Vancouver.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Okay.
I just slept in the airport. It was fine.
Flights are fine. Oh, my flights to BGGCon were canceled.
Good.
And then I got them back, and then they were hacked to bits, and I got them back again. I think I'm going to BGGCon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live show, and hopefully I'm seeing, Jacob, thank you for letting us know there is sound, because we've been talking for a little while now.
Yeah, we never even thought to check that
Look,
one.
every time we start one of these things, there's always some kind of panic or madness, and this time I said, no, it's going to be fine. And so far, it's been fine.
Let's just check. Is there an echo in here? Is there an
Yes,
echo
there's
in
an
here?
echo in
Is there an echo in here?
I did forget, the hookup for each of us having individual mics, so you might notice a little bit of an extra echo this time around. So I see people are joining us. Thanks for joining us, and we are going to talk about a few different things. We got some questions already queued up here from people in the Watch It Played Guild. If you guys would like to ask questions, feel free to put in the comments or in the chat window, just put question in all caps, and then put your question.
Not in all caps, though.
Not the question in all caps. Yeah. That would be obnoxious.
Just the word question.
Right.
Not
Thank
the
you.
whole
Thank you for making me clarify that. Yeah. That's very important. Okay, but before we get started in answering some of your questions and thoughts, let's talk about a couple of other things in the news, which are what? Oh, well, let me mention quickly, you've probably noticed a few videos going up. We did start our Mansions of Madness playthrough.
Yes.
Actually, we had a couple of pre-start videos talking about starting, doing the setup, and then we actually started the playthrough, me and Luke. Luke, unfortunately, has come under the weather.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind? Like, is it raining or snowing?
No, the sick kind of weather.
Oh, no.
So it's delaying things a little bit with the gameplay. I figure for this playthrough, it's going to be probably quite a few episodes. So sometimes Pat might jump in, join me for a play of it, depending on the part, and then Luke as well, bounce back and forth. And, of course, you guys will be participating throughout. So if you haven't checked that out already, please do. I'm looking forward to playing that through with you guys. We've also released some Mechs versus Minions videos, and I think that's primarily been it in the last little while. I've been focused on sorting through what I've called the Great Survey Kerfuffle of 2016. If you backed our fundraiser, there has been a little bit of, I don't know, some kind of shindig over the whole surveys getting to people. I'm sending surveys out. Some people are getting them. Some people aren't getting them. And then a few days later, they're just showing up and suddenly getting them again. I don't know what's going on. And so I had a little sort of apology video there, really just to say sorry for this happening. We are now down to about 177 people who have not yet filled out the surveys who need to, out of 2,000 or whatever. So we're actually pretty close now. It's things are coming together. If you have not received your survey, and I didn't say this in my video, and if you're owed one, for example, if you donated at a level that doesn't have any perks that would be sent to you, then you won't be getting a survey anyway. So it would be at the $15 amount or higher that you would be getting a survey. So do just email me at watchitplayed@live.com, and I will get the survey to you directly that way, because that hasn't been having a problem yet.
That leads us to one of our questions.
Oh, does it? Which one? This one here?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Striker J wants to know, can you please order the following 3 words based on level of angst? Kerfuffle, hubbub, and tumult.
So I think I would put hubbub at the lowest. A hubbub to me is a little...
That sounds like a party.
It's a little bit of...
Yeah, come down for a hubbub.
In the hot tub. It's like a little, like any kind of little bit of chaos. But it could be fun chaos, good chaos.
Yeah.
I think kerfuffle might be next. Kerfuffle is... See, it's a really close one between tumult and kerfuffle. I think...
Tumult. I'm going to be honest here. I've never heard the word tumult before.
No, well, that is like another... Like, it's more of... It could be shouting between people, a conflict of some sort, right? And a kerfuffle is maybe that with even more chaos. So maybe kerfuffle is the worst. I would put tumult next then, and then kerfuffle.
Well, for me, kerfuffle is the worst, but that's because, as I said, the hubbub sounds like a party, and I don't really know the other one. The other one sounds like the name of a Vulcan from Star Trek.
Which probably, maybe that's where it came from. I think kerfuffle has British origins. I looked this up because I was realizing after I put that in the title.
Oh, it's not a fake word.
It might not be. No, it's not a fake word. It might not be a common word to some of our listeners. So I don't know if you've heard of kerfuffle before. It means chaos. And certainly for me, it's the worst because that's what I'm experiencing right now.
I think it feels like it means like fanciful chaos. Like, oh, I got into kerfuffle.
Maybe so. Okay, so then another question, or something else I want to mention about the surveys, is some of you may or may not know, Marty and I of Rolling Dice and Taking Names, we have a certain number of Twitter exchanges that generally involve bickering, backstabbery, and other issues between us.
At least 10 a day.
At least. And he waited until our fundraiser was almost funded at the base level for that one, just to secure the next season. And he waited until that moment so he could donate and then say he made this season happen. And I've been worried about what kind of control he's going to try to exercise, because I still haven't checked the bylaws to see if he really has some kind of true authority over us. But this was a delight for me today. He was filling out his survey and trying to put his name in for the producer credits. And there's a cap on how many letters you can put. So you can only get in Rolling Dice and Ta. So Rolling Dice and Ta is a sponsor, not Rolling Dice and Taking Names, which it just delights me. I'm so glad that my survey system backstabbed him, and I didn't even plan it. It's delightful.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. I actually want to show you guys something. This is probably maybe coming to the advertisement portion of the channel, and I don't really mean it to be so much an advertisement, but I recently picked up something I have not looked at in ages, a White Dwarf magazine. This is by Games Workshop, right? And they usually talk about upcoming games, and they have like battle reports, maybe supplements to games that are already out. And although I don't really play a lot of their miniatures games, I have been playing more of their board games that they've been releasing.
Yeah.
And I do love looking at miniatures and pictures of painting and all that sort of thing. And I have to say, it's not a game, so I feel a little bit more comfortable going. I was really impressed. This one actually kind of was a treat. I think this is maybe like a new release that they're doing of it. And so it's now going to be coming out. This one actually came with a miniature.
I see that.
That you can include in one of the games they talk about here.
Slaughter Priest.
The Slaughter Priest. Pep, would you mind? We've got another camera here, and I just want to take you guys on a very quick tour through here, just to show you some of the spectacle of this. I'm going to play. Okay, we're going into the magazine. All right, so
it's like Magic School Bus.
I'll try to go quick, so Pep, your hand. And I'm not. This is a crazy thick magazine. There's 150 pages. I'm obviously not going to go through every page here, but I just wanted to quickly go through a couple of things. I think the core focus of this one in particular is talking about Gore Chosen, which is a new board game that's coming out from them, new boxed game. And they even talk. Here's the Slaughter Priest, and it shows you here how to assemble it and paint it.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
How'd they fit that in a magazine?
Well, it was attached to the magazine itself when you picked it up. So again, I'm just going to jump quickly to a couple of things that I thought was kind of interesting. So they have different tales, things that people have written in, articles that have been written, things that are coming out, what's in stores now. So like any magazine, there's lots of advertisements. It just happens to be focused on things that would be relevant to a GW, Games Workshop, or a miniature player, right? They talk about different kill teams. Like I think this is a kill team that comes in one of the box set, and it's saying, here's how you can take this from your board game and actually put it into like the actual miniatures game. Yeah. They talk about the upcoming Warhammer 40K box set. But what I was sort of most interested in myself personally, they had a battle report here as well between, I think is this a battle report? No, sorry, they're actually showing like 4 different forces that were put together here by 4 other people. But they do have a battle report in here. I'll get to that in a second.
That could look cool.
Here is the Tempest of Blades. So this is an army. You might have to really go back for this. This is an army that was painted up, and these are all the miniatures for it, including these like gargantuan models here.
Wow.
So they show you like the list over here to the left. Pepe, just come over just a little bit. Yeah, this is just a list here, all the units that are in here that make up this crazy. Like if you come in it won't. I don't know if this will auto focus or not, but you can see like there's actually like little tiny miniatures down here, relative to the other larger ones.
Okay. You got cord stuck in there now.
Okay, so we'll get that out of the way.
Is this against the law, by the way?
What?
Showing a magazine on the camera?
I don't think so. So here's one of the things I was going to say that I thought was kind of interesting. So the boxed games bonanza. So here's Deathwatch Overkill is a game they've released as a boxed game, and this tells you how to take, I believe, one of the kill teams from another set and then bring it into that game, right? So here's like the cards you could photocopy and then cut out and stick into sleeves, and now you could bring this unit into your Killwatch team. Space Hulk.
I must say, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of neat,
To me, that idea is amazing.
Like that? Yeah.
Because some games actually have the, like Arcadia Quest, whenever you get, was it Mass Mora? It comes with the stuff so that you can, Whatever. There's 2 games where when you buy one, it comes with the stuff to bring them over.
Well, Mass More does do that. Like Mass More, you can bring the miniatures into Arcadia Quest.
Right. And I like that because a lot of games have that as just part of the game or as an optional expansion. Yeah. The idea of that happening in a magazine is perfect because all it is a little piece of paper you'd cut out or
there's not really any kind of crazy extra thing you have to buy outside of the magazine. The price of the magazine, too, in case anyone's curious, is $11 Canadian, $9 US, €6, I think. So we got a Space Hulk, a whole other scenario for Space Hulk.
Ooh.
And showing you the map setup. Horus Heresy, that's another boxed game they have as well. Another scenario for that with more information to set that up. Lost Patrol, this is how you can bring the Terminator. Remember that Lost Patrol game we played?
Yeah.
This allows you to bring in the Terminator figures and create a squad of those to play with and special rules for using them. Assassinorum Execution Force, another boxed game of theirs. Here's another scenario for that one, and I think a way to bring in some of the other characters that they have in other games. Warhammer Quest, Silver Tower, that just got released. That figure that came on the box, here's a way to bring it into that game as well.
I'm being blown away by all this.
Gore Chosen, the game that's being released, I think, around the time, I think it's this week, actually, that's being released. This is, again, here's how you use that figure that's attached here in that particular game, along with some other new Gore Chosen characters. So again, you go and buy the miniature, and then this is a card that will allow you to play it in this particular game. Oh, here's some more for Warhammer Silver Tower, and I think, no, there's some more here. This is Death Watch I don't know what this deal is here. Anyway, so then that's all I really wanted to show you guys. There's lots more. Here's some other painted figures, more lore, artwork. Oh yeah, here's an actual battle report they went through, right? So they showed, here's the setup of 2 forces playing in Age of Sigmar, and then talking you through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and what happened. Did you want to sort of see the game played out in all kinds of glorious detail? So
we should do that for just regular board games.
Oh, painting as well, or kit bashing as they call it, like taking bits and components and then putting them together. Yeah, a person could certainly do that for board games, sort of battle reports. People do it for miniatures games all the time, but you could definitely set up like a blog or something and just show it that way. So that's
Codenames.
That's White Dwarf. Again, it probably felt a little advertising. This was not a sponsored segment. They didn't ask me to like feature this on their content. I just had it recently, and I hadn't looked at a White Dwarf magazine in ages, and I was kind of impressed. So if you have no interest in miniatures games, or you don't like Games Workshop or something, then this was not for you. But that's our little segment.
Questions?
Why don't we go to the questions here, and then we can jump back, and we have some games, of course, that we're going to play as well with you guys. Eric Booth wants to know: does the heat no work in Pep's place? I think he's asking because we're both probably look warm here. This is actually a shirt. It is a little bit a little thicker though.
Yeah, and well, I had a normal shirt on. Yes. Well, another plaid shirt, and then Rodney came in with long sleeves, and I'm like, wow, I need long sleeves too. It is a little cold in here, but it's not too bad.
Summer is winding down here, definitely in the Great White North, and it's getting a little chillier out there.
We're not really that far north.
Electrical Baba asks a question that is always a nice one. How do we meet and become friends? I'd love to answer it. The only thing is we have answered that, I think, in the last couple of live shows. And so
I can summarize.
Go ahead and summarize, yeah.
Destiny.
Destiny brought us together. Yes, I moved to the island. I was looking for gamers to game with, talked to the local comic book shop. Someone pointed me to this Joker. We met up, we started playing games, and yeah, over time.
It was less of a Joker back then. It's definitely developed as time went on.
Maybe less puns.
Yeah. The puns definitely got worse.
Someone else, Dave Nolia, wants to know how cold is it out there? Celsius, it's been like 12 degrees Celsius in the morning, I think, floating around that. Oh, Jesse Miller says,
I like this
if you could design a Watch It Played promo for Kemet, what would it be? Ooh, you know what it would be? And I would do this for you.
Oh.
I would do this for you. It would be a turtle beast for you.
Wait, like a turtle beast, like a dragon turtle, or like?
I don't know. I would like it to be like more of a traditional, like enlarged tortoise turtle type of.
Like a snapping turtle?
Yeah, maybe. And like the little dude would be riding on the back, or riding right up on the head of it, or something like that. It'd be very defensive. Maybe it would be probably be a blue power.
I like that.
Because off the top of my head, there's no particular creatures that jump out at me, but Pep loves turtles. And I think creatures are kind of the most fun in that game, is like acquiring one of the creatures to have on your team. So I would, some kind of turtle monster thing, yeah.
I feel bad now.
Why?
Well, because my idea was like a special promo trash bin that I could push the game into so I wouldn't have to play.
How dare you, sir?
And now I feel awful because yours was for me.
Yours was definitely not for me. Jacob K. So Tom has predicted that Mechs versus Minions will sell out in one day. Do I need to take the day off to ensure my copy? Asks Jacob. I find it very hard to know and predict, how the market will react to things. Certainly, Mechs versus Minions has a certain amount of heat around it right now, so one could think, oh yeah, it's going to be very popular. The League of Legends community is quite large, so even if a fraction of them take an interest, they will go like that, sure. Will they though? I don't know. Riot doesn't really know, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. One thing that I am encouraged by is I believe, and I don't like to speak for Riot, but my understanding is if the game does sell out, let's say, it's not their intention to make this some kind of limited, impossible to get item. They will
do another print
they'll go back to the printer and ensure that people who are interested and want to pick up the game can. I don't think they're trying to create some kind of limited, crazy secondary market thing where you're spending $400 on eBay to try to pick up the game. Which, if that's true, I think that'd be great. I'm just going to reach up and adjust the mic slightly because I think it's starting to slip a little bit here, and I just want to make sure it doesn't fall off throughout this recording. I think, though, this does bring up an opportunity for me to talk a little bit about the Mechs versus Minions press release and that. Pep, I know you were away when this happened, and so this will maybe...
Yeah, I followed it a little bit, but...
I know we have a game to set up. Maybe, I don't know if you want to do that during this, but you can also pay attention. Whatever you feel.
I can do both?
Someone asked a question. Russ asked, Temple asked a question as well. He said, how did you get involved in the whole Mechs versus Minions surprise release? And I don't review games, as you guys know, but you'll have to flip them around the other way because of the way we're going to hold the... Okay, just so you know.
Just focus. I'm going to tell you an important thing about Codenames that a lot of people don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The words are on both sides.
No, but for them, they're going to be seeing this side.
I know, but the words are... Oh, yeah, but I know.
Okay, you'll have to flip them around. Okay.
I will.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome.
So one of the things... I'm not going to go into talking about the game and everything. I have videos for that show you, a pretty good overview of what comes in the box, the experience of kind of opening up for the first time and everything that's there, as well as instructional videos walking you through exactly how to play the game, including several scenarios, and there's more on the way. One thing I was kind of interested in talking about was the experience of meeting the Riot team and kind of working on this video. Before Gen Con, I received an email from Riot Games, probably, I'm not sure exactly who, someone maybe in their outreach team, marketing team or something, I have no idea, who just said, hey, Riot's going to be at Gen Con. We'd be interested in meeting if you'd like to set up a time. I get a lot of emails before Gen Con, people saying, hey, I'd like to meet, and would you like to meet, and blah, blah, blah. And I just figure most of the time it's because I'm on some kind of Gen Con press list, and that's why I'm getting hit. So when I saw this, I'm like, Riot Games, oh yeah, the makers of League of Legends. I played that in the past. Why would they have any interest in talking to me? They make video games. So I just wrote back and said, well, thanks for the interest. I don't review because I always assume people think I review. And I probably, I probably don't have anything to offer for what you're looking for. Why are you coming to Gen Con? I got an answer back from them, but I remember it not really going into any particular details. As I learned later, of course, they really couldn't. So I just kind of dismissed it out of sight, out of mind. Then at Gen Con, after the presentation that I gave with Jamie and Tom on board game media do's and don'ts, Jamie was leaving. I said, oh, where are you heading off to? He said, oh, I got a meeting with the Riot Games folks. And I thought, oh, that's the thing that I got an email about. You're going to that? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to that. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let me know how that goes. And off Jamie goes to that with Tony from the Secret Cabal as well. It was about an hour and a half later, Pep, my phone rang, and I see, oh, it's Jamie, and I pick it up, and Jamie, I can't do an impression of Jamie justice, but it was basically like, Rodney, you have got to meet with those Riot guys now. Like, right now, you've got to go meet them. And he was like, he was flustered. Like, he could barely get it out of his mouth, what he was like. I'm not going to tell you what I saw, but you need to go see them. I talked to them. I said, you should come up and check this out. And I've got the contact information. Get in touch with them. And Jamie's a good friend, and I trust him implicitly. If he tells me I need to check something out, well, as soon as I heard that, I immediately said, well, this is the next thing I'm definitely doing. So I reached out to Chris Cantrell, the project developers there at Riot Games, and he said, yeah, we'd love to show you the game, and let's meet. I'll tell you though, Pep, like, they're a billion-dollar company, right? Like, they make quite successful. I really had no idea what I was going to be getting into meeting with these guys. I was waiting in the lobby of the hotel, and I'll have to say, in the back of my mind, I was kind of expecting either some very stiff suits or some like very full of themselves kind of bros or something.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, kind of like that I would be sort of fortunate to be getting some of their time. Yeah. You know, like that was kind of how that this was gonna go. And it couldn't have been any different. The gentlemen came up. They were very laid back and relaxed. And if anything, I would say they were just as excited to meet me as I was to meet them. Like they were very down to earth and very almost. I almost don't want to cast them in a particular light that could maybe be embarrassing for them. But it almost was like they were nervous to be showing me their game. Yeah. Like I kind of felt like they had a certain nervous anxiety about what I was going to think when I saw it. Right?
I could see that when you open the rulebook. You open the rulebook, and it's like,
what is this rulebook? Don't you? How could you? So we went up to we had a nice little talk, and then we went up to the hotel room where they had one of the production copies of the game. And they basically just let me kind of open it up and go through the components and kind of experience what I tried to create for people when I created my preview video for the game, where I just kind of lifted the cover off and kind of went through the different layers. That's what they let me do. And yes, I definitely, one of the things that's been talked about a lot, maybe to the detriment really of being able to talk about the gameplay, but it's just such we're such visual people, like our senses, are kind of what drive us, and visually the components were mind-blowing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing in that box as I pulled open this incredible insert and all the components and not one bit of skimping anywhere. And the whole box was just jammed full, and this box was massive. It
looks like I have to slide under my bed to store it.
It was insane, and it was heavy, and I was just going through this thing, and I was like, what? And as I was doing this, they would stop and they would point out different elements and they would talk about the gameplay and say, well, this is how this works in the game, and so on and so forth. At the end of it, they did say to me, so what do you think this cost? Like, what would the retail on this be? And I just was like, okay, so we've got a top tray of miniatures. It's like there's no cardboard here aside from the boards, and then those are massive cardboard. All the artwork, the inserts, all the plastic. I was like, $350, and that's when they said, well, actually, we're going to sell it for $75 and we're going to release it in a month. I was like, what? What are you talking about? My brain blew out the back of my head.
Yeah.
Now, all of these things, please understand as you're watching this, these are on some level very superficial things, and don't think I'm not aware of that. Like component quality and all that stuff, you can dismiss as, well, this is just fluff, on some level.
Yeah, you still want the game to be good.
The game needs to be good. But at the same time, as our brains fight to succumb to our senses and these things that kind of wow us, it's still no small achievement that they put this much effort in making the game at this production level. This was really quite an impressive achievement on that alone. But, I have to admit, that was one of the things I said to them. I said, seeing this, I'm definitely very intrigued, and I would be interested in creating video content for it. But I haven't played the game. If this game is no good, I would not feature this. I can't feature this on my channel.
Yeah.
I think I felt it even more so because this is such a big company. And I felt like this is going to raise some eyebrows. And I wouldn't want someone looking at my content and going, well, of course Riot did it. Riot Games. This is a large company, and therefore. So I really felt almost even extra. Like, this game better hit some of my interest points before I do it. Now, again, this is kind of getting into that review zone, but it's no secret. I only feature games on the channel that I like on some level, right? So it needed to pass that test. They very kindly sent me no strings attached. They sent me a copy to check out to see if I thought it was going to be something I wanted to play. Again, without going into a review of it, me and Luke, we played through the entire campaign, and I agreed to create content. So take from that what you will. And so the content all released at the same time, right? And that did kind of create a little bit of what's going on here, especially amongst content creators. Has there been some kind of backroom dealing? I'll say a couple of things I'd like to dispel. There was no signed NDA. In that meeting that I had with them, they just said, we'd like to keep this under wraps. We've been developing this for 3 years, and we've kept it pretty secret. And I felt it was, again, things that really impressed me about the quality of their character. They were like, we have our own concerns. We've created this game. We want to be successful with board gamers. We want board gamers to play this and go, this is a good game. But when we announce that we're creating a board game, if that leaks out there in some way, people's assumptions right away are going to be naturally, they're trying to hone in on the board game industry. They're slapping their very popular IP on a bunch of cardboard, just try to make a buck.
Yeah, it's literally going to be League of Legends with all the League of Legends characters sitting there in groups of like 3 against 3 or whatever League of Legends is.
All of us have seen this done. All of us have seen Star Wars slapped on Monopoly and pushed out the door, right? And so they were like, we want to create the best possible opportunity for people to find out about the game and then immediately be able to find actual real content about it. So we can try to dispel some of those concerns right away with actual information to share. So they approached a number of content creators who they felt, had decent audiences and maybe had some respect in the board game community to try to share some of this information from their own perspective. So as it relates to these reviewers and stuff, again, I can't speak for everybody, but as far as I know, no reviewers were paid to create content at a certain time and date. We were just asked, please don't release it until a certain time because they have to get the manufacturing ready, they have to have the websites ready to go, and they have to be prepared to answer questions and talk about it. And actually, even the people I was talking to have been quite active in BGG and answering people's individual questions. I guess there's one other little story I'd like to tell because, again, to me, this was something that impressed me about Riot Games. I remember when I released the first preview video to them and just said, hey, have I got everything right here in terms I always like to double check and make sure I got the rules right and things like that. Yeah. And I do that for all the publishers. They wrote back and said, well, actually, Rodney, you said it's a 1 to 4 player game. That's not quite true. It's actually a 2 to 4 player game. And I wrote back and I said, well hold on a second. Like, this is a fully cooperative game, and fully cooperative games you can play on your own. You just control 2 of the characters and off you go, right? And you can do that with this. You can just sit there and solve the puzzles and off you go. And Chris wrote back to me, he said, well, technically you could do this. We just don't feel it creates an optimal playing experience. And although we might lose some sales to people who would otherwise have bought it because they saw a 1 written there in the player count, we would much prefer that people are excited about the game before they buy it because of the experience they think it's going to provide. And then when they play it, it actually creates that experience for them. Yeah. And we feel like there's a chance that it won't create the experience, the fun that we think is really the optimal fun that's in the game in a solo experience. So we're not going to promote it that way, even if it means maybe us costing us some sales. And there's been a number of things like that all the way along that on a personal level have impressed me, certainly. And again, that has nothing to do with the game. You have to judge the game on your own merits. I suggest watching gameplay videos, watching our content, certainly, and other people's to get a sense of whether or not you think the game would be a good fit for you. But I definitely walked away feeling like this is a nice contribution to our hobby. They are not going to make money off of all the board gamers who are suddenly going to jump to League of Legends because of this board game. There are way more League of Legends players, millions of League of Legends players right now. I think 7 million during a month are playing, who have the potential to find our hobby and come to the board game hobby. And if they discover this game and they go, wow, this is fun. This isn't like Monopoly and Risk and these other games, which are fine games, fine, whatever. But if they go, oh, this is what modern board games are, it might make them go, I want to walk down to that local game store I've been walking past constantly and ignoring and step in there and find out what else there is. And who knows what other games they're going to find. So yeah, that's my long kind of banter about, I didn't really want to talk about the game specifically, more just I was really pleased, again, with the quality of the character, the people that I dealt with anyway. Obviously, Riot's a large company. I can't speak for everyone there. But it's been a true pleasure working with them. And they've been nothing but professional in terms of helping me with questions I had as I needed them and to be able to get the content out. So anyway, maybe we should take a couple more questions here and then jump into some games. Halifax Star writes, why did you schedule this during the Canada Europe hockey game? Because I'm a terrible Canadian and I don't pay a lot of attention to hockey. So I wasn't even aware. Did you know there was a... I
had no idea. No, okay. I don't follow hockey too much.
I apologize. The only hockey I follow is when my son's playing on the ice. Let's see here. Richard would like to know, has AJ from the Backstreet Boys tried to punch Pep in the neck for stealing his beard line sculpting technique?
Not yet. But
you were in the States. He might have set off his radar. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where he lives.
He might be looking for me now.
Right. Okay.
I didn't even realize. I definitely didn't do this on purpose. This has all been an accident.
Yeah.
Like no,
I like it. I think it's a nice look for you, if you don't mind me saying.
But yeah, any time the way that my beard is shaped is just an accident of every time me shaving. Like I think it started off a little higher up, and then I just kept shaving too low.
And then you have to balance over here, and then
and same like I'd eventually get to a certain height, and so it's where it is now, just random chance.
Well, Raidsoft did not put question in all caps before this, but he does ask, can you guys look any more Canadian with those shirts? Yes, absolutely. We could be wearing toques. Definitely. Parkas over these would definitely make us look more Canadian.
I have a scarf with the Canadian flag on it.
A scarf would help. Mittens, earmuffs, all those things. We can definitely look more Canadian. We're trying to tone it down for your sake.
A little bit.
A little bit. Lawrence asks a question about favorite games. Sorry, can't really help you there. I do tend to avoid the favorite game questions. James B. also.
We did apologize for it, though, so
we're
helping also, the Canadian
more Canadian. Another Joshua asks a question between two games. Sorry again, apologies, not being able to help you there. These are good questions, though, for Tom Vassell. He does live shows, and I get lots of questions about favorite games and things. I won't be able to help you so much there. Let's see here. Ooh. Oh, Joe Rollins says, do you think Mansions of Madness is cursed? Both playthroughs, one of your children take sick. Good question. The game is very thematic. Maybe thematic is really coming out. I don't know.
Horst de Error wants to know what score you got at Rado's live show.
Oh, yes, Horst. I did jump in quickly. I saw Rado was doing a live show, and I just jumped in quickly to see what was going on there, and I noticed the game they were playing. It looked interesting, but at that moment, I actually had to go out and pick up Luke from something at school, or I forget what it was.
Hockey?
No, it wasn't hockey. I had to pick him up somewhere. No, it was my wife. Christy was working. I had to go pick her up. So I didn't have time to stick around. But I did want to jump in there and just see, kind of what they were doing. I always like seeing people doing live shows and what kind of games they're playing. I don't even remember what that game was, but it looked interesting. It was some kind of board, and you picked up almost like Carcassonne-style tiles, and then based on the shape of it, on your own little tableau, you drew that path somewhere. And you're drawing that path somewhere on your thing, and we're both trying to create paths to do stuff. So it looked like a fun one to play live with people. So
just to clarify, Rodney's score was 0.
Right. Thank you, Pep. Let's see here. VBW asks, you guys ever play the Game of Thrones CCG by FFG? They actually call it an LCG. Well, it was a CCG at one point in time. I never played during that. When it was an LCG, we played it together.
At the original game group.
Yes, that's right. We played a 4-player game of it. And then you and I played the Barnes & Noble's version, I think people call it, because it was the printed pictures of the screenshots from the TV show. And I have purchased the most recent edition of it as well. I have not played that because time. So much time. Not enough time, I mean.
Never enough time.
Willie Loomis asks, is 150 pages the norm, I think, for that Games Workshop? I don't know if it's the norm in the past, but I think it is kind of the norm. They don't call it a special edition. I think this is going to be kind of the format.
Jose Jimenez asks,
where are we at?
How is Andrea in Japan? Sorry, I'm right there.
Thank you. She's not in Japan. She's home. She's been home for a couple of years now, and she's in university. But not living at home because she's away for that.
Hi, Kabuki Kid.
Hi, Kabuki Kid. Okay, so Paul Bowman asks, would you ever consider expanding Watch It Played to other people located not in your area, similar to the Dice Tower? This way you could cover more games. Consider? Yes. Actually execute on that? I don't know.
We don't want to execute people.
I've seen other people who do instructional video and thought, oh, this is great content. And if I was to kind of create some adventures of board gaming instructional media content, that person, could really be a good job for that. Can
I be Thor?
You want to be Thor? Yeah. Do you have a hammer?
Somewhere. Well, yeah, like a carpentry.
Okay, well that would qualify. To do something like that, it would require me to think about it and to spend time thinking about it and figure out how it would work. I would never just go tomorrow, hey, you're doing video content, why don't you join my network? And I try to focus most of my attention on just creating my next bits of content, let alone trying to run some other network.
Yeah, manage a bunch of other
Yeah, and there's something to me about the consistency of the content. I would want it to look similar.
I think everyone would have to have matching studios to yours. No, I am 100% serious.
I don't disagree. There could be some slight variations in it, but I would want to look kind of the same. When you tune in, you're going, oh yeah, this is a watch it played show.
Yeah.
And I think like it wouldn't have to be me necessarily, but I want it to be like the same person have to have the same kind of dedication to like carefully analyzing rule books and knowing how to like rewrite all of them and all the rest of it. And I'm certainly not claiming I'm the best at it. I'm saying I have a certain method and technique, and I'd want that to be sort of consistent.
Yeah,
across the board.
You're totally Iron Man too.
Okay.
You get to be Tony
Stark. All right, I like that. I have to grow the facial hair though.
I'll just give you mine.
Okay, thank you. You're a good friend. VBW shouting out to us from Vancouver, BC, and wondering where in Canada we are. All the way on the other side. We're Prince Edward Island.
I was in Vancouver overnight the other night for the airport. Also, hi, Andrew King. Sorry, I always see the highs and can't help it.
War Panda said that he or she saw the Mansions of Madness 2 tutorial video thing and thought, this could be the future of tabletop wargaming, incorporating the use of apps in games. Well, they did have something similar to that with Golem Arcana. We did have a video for that. That game is no longer in print anymore. It kind of didn't work out, I guess, in the long run. Could it be? Possibly. I think we'll definitely see more apps being worked into games.
Yeah, I agree.
Could you guys play Summoner Wars more? Asks Andrew King. No. Only because we just don't go back and replay games. There's so many games to feature. If we've already done it, we're not going to do it again because there's so many games I'd like to get to and don't have the time to.
Is there any game you'd make an exception to that rule?
Yes,
for?
Mansions of Madness.
That's cheating. It is reprinted.
It is reprinted. It's a second edition. It's also the first game we did. It has a nostalgia value thing. And I love breaking my own rules on occasion. So maybe I'll break the Summoner Wars rule and play it again. I could see it being broken, for example, if we do a live play marathon, which we are going to do. That might be a time to haul out maybe some old favorites and play them that way.
Yeah, I
agree. Dedicating hours and hours and hours to recreating it again in our playthrough videos, it's less likely.
Unless we dressed up as the summoners.
Okay. People commenting the audio is off, potentially like out of sync. Unfortunately, that's the nature of live videos. Sometimes it gets cleaned up after it's posted and you watch it after the fact and it's rendered. I'm jumping down here to see if there's any more immediate questions. This is nice. We're getting to the end here, which means we might be able to play a game and then let some questions build up again.
Oh, let's just quickly go to one of these.
View Sora asks, why no videos these last few days? I'm trying to think. Like Monday, which is how many days ago? 2 days.
One. That's yesterday.
I think, didn't 3 videos? No, on Sunday. On Sunday, 3 videos dropped. So that's quite a few. I think there was 2 Mechs vs. Minions and 1 Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition. Plus there was a little survey update video. But yes, there's been a little bit of maybe a lull like a couple days before that.
They just can't get enough of you.
I guess not. The survey fulfillment has taken up a certain amount of my time chasing that around, but primarily just working on other content. Sometimes I'm working on content behind the scenes, and like I'm doing a tutorial video for each of the Mechs vs. Minions scenarios, so that takes a little bit of time as well. I'm always working on scripts. There's really, if you're ever not seeing content, it's not because something's not happening. It's just something that's not happening on screen yet.
Yet.
Again, don't forget, if you have a question to ask, just put the word question in all caps before it, and then your question in not all caps. Don asks, will you be playing some of the new Stronghold releases? I'm trying to think. I don't have any Stronghold games currently on my schedule. I don't pre-announce before I do stuff, but I guess I don't mind saying when I don't have any current plans to do something. And that's not because I don't like the games for any particular reason. I just haven't actually played any of the new Stronghold releases. I'd love to do more Stronghold games.
Is there anything that is coming up that we need to talk about?
I
just noticed something right on the sheet.
You mean right on the top there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can talk about it because I usually don't like to pre-announce it at the scripting stage, but you've already scripted the script for Arcane Academy, a game by Eric Lang, being produced by IDW Publishing and another one, 3WS or something. I think
3WS,
or something like that. So that one will be coming from Pep.
It's a tile laying game where you're wizards.
Yes, I played it a few times with Luke already, and after that I was like, Pep, have you played it? And when you said you had, I said, did you like it? And then he told me the answer to that question, and I said, "Would you like to write a script for it?"
You just told him what the answer was, because if I said no, you wouldn't.
I just said, "We're not doing it."
Your vagueness is hilarious.
I know. I'm sorry. Old habits. Sage asks, "Will we be playing Inferno?" I have no idea what that game is, so no plans.
Inferno, Arcadia Quest Inferno.
Oh, Arcadia Quest Inferno. I don't typically cover expansions either. Again, maybe in a live show we would do it, but I don't have any plans to currently. Gregory Blickley, lots of people want to know what's coming next. Guys, I'm going to not answer those questions. I'm going to skip those questions if I see them. They are great questions. I understand why you'd want to know. But the next game I'm scripting, I actually haven't started typing yet, although the rulebook is in front of my computer, so I'm not going to announce that yet. Arcane Academy is, I do generally, yes. Yeah. Unless I'm doing this. I got very fast typing like this.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
I'm super fast.
They can do that.
Yeah. I took a typing class back in, I guess it would have been junior high.
Oh, I didn't do it until high school.
Maybe it was high school. Maybe. And I drove the teacher nuts because I would never do it the proper way because I was faster than all the other students doing it this way. So she'd give us an assignment, I'd be done. I never learned the right way.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
It's okay. I don't even remember what I was saying. Perfect. Except I was saying maybe I'm not. If you have a question about what's coming up next, Arcane Academy is the next thing that we can sort of pre-announce on that. But thanks for your interest, though. I appreciate that you want to know.
Spencer Reeve wants to know when you're going to Patreon.
Where is Spencer Reeve?
You just skipped by him.
No, it wasn't Spencer Reeve.
Yeah, just slightly above.
Oh, it was Spencer Reeve. Hello, Spencer Reeve. Our good friend Spencer Reeve used to work with Cool Me or Not, and now he's out there in the wilds. I have no idea. I imagine he's just running around.
Foraging,
long hair,
throwing
tattered clothes.
Spears at boars.
Yes. I am surprised he was able to string together a sentence. He probably hasn't eaten in months. I have no idea what's going on with him.
It's starting to sound really mean.
No, I love Spencer. Spencer's one of my favorite people. I was so disappointed, actually, when he left Cool Me or Not. Not that there's not great people there still. Pete, Jared, and a whole bunch of crew. But I loved being able to talk to Spencer and bugging him every now and then. He's a wonderful guy.
We even used him for a pun in the marble game.
A Potion Explosion.
Potion Explosion. Right. Don't tell them where. You'll have to find it.
That's right. Spencer wants to know, when you go into Patreon. That is something we've talked about before. No plans to go to Patreon. I just, on a personal level, have always kind of struggled with the idea of Patreon because it kind of feels like a bill to me. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just sort of say, hey guys, I need your support. Do it once, and then I'm going to leave you alone for the rest of the year. That's kind of the method I've preferred. Although there's other people that content creators who use Patreon to great effect, and I love supporting them. It's just not something I've wanted to sort of use for my viewers.
Yeah, and it does feel like in general the type of content creators that are on Patreon don't really match up with what you're doing usually. Maybe
not the same way. Like a lot of times if it's a podcast, hey, something comes out every 2 weeks, you can kind of know, when I donate per episode, I know sort of approximately how many episodes I'm donating for. Of course, there's all kinds of Patreon caps and things. You can say, I'll donate $2 per thing, but cap me off at $10. So if someone goes on some kind of crazy posting spree, you're not suddenly soaked for $200. Okay, I'm seeing some more great questions. Are you going to play this? Are you going to play that? Spencer Olson asks, how do you decide which games to play on Watch and Play? That is something we've talked about in the past, so I'm going to forgo that question. Although if you'd like to find out information on the Gaming Careers podcast, the second most recent one, I was interviewed and I do talk about the process there. The Gaming Careers podcast. I think I'm correctly saying the full name of it. I will look it up while Pep checks for more questions.
Perfect, because the next question is...
Did I go too far?
Nope, perfect. Pete Spooner wants to know, when is the first Pep Talk planned to air?
Well, Pep's been gone for 2 weeks, so no plans for that. Biffle Riffle, by the way, is Spencer Reeves' podcast. BFFL or IFFL. Best Friends for Life. Riffing for Life, I think is what that stands for. Biffle Riffle. Very funny podcast, by the way.
But yeah, as for the Pep Talk, it's I did work on it while we were gone, or while I was gone. You weren't gone. You were still here.
No, I was still here.
But yeah, no immediate plans, but I'm going to try to make it happen as soon as possible.
The Gaming Careers podcast, it was. Yes, we'll try to get that queued up and going. We should probably stop here and play a game.
Yeah,
we tease the game, and there's like the questions just don't stop.
Never.
But we're going to stop and play a game. So we're going to play Codenames with you guys. Pep and I were trying to think of a game to play, and I said, let's play Speedy Recall. And then I got here, and we're like,
I think we played it.
I think we played that already.
We played it. Can someone confirm that maybe is here for every show? We played Speedy Recall in the first or the second live show, right?
And then it's like we started setting up Codenames. We're like, have we played this before as well? Maybe?
I think we might have too.
I don't know. But we're going to try playing it right now. Pep has set up the cards. We don't have 2 cameras set up nicely for this, so it's going to be a little sketchy. The way it's going to work...
We just show them after we figure our clue out anyway.
Right, that's true. We are going to each be different agents, or head agents, and you guys are in a 3-player game. There's 2 people providing clues, and kind of the other person is doing their best to guess for either one, right? You're not holding back, so if one of them loses, you're doing best to see which one can win. And so we're just going to play this with you guys as an audience, right? We'll give our clue, and then we'll watch down here for your answers. And I think we'll wait till, 3 people say... So we see 3 people repeat the same thing, then we'll go, okay, that is one
that counts as a touch.
That counts as a touch, and we'll go and we'll touch that one, and we'll say whether or not it was
right. We could even be really creative and just split the audience into the first letter of their first name. We could just say, okay, from A to Q is
don't throw that on me now. No. You're all working together. We can think about that. We're not gonna. I think that'd be tricky too. Well, it'll be a little trickier. These comments, man, they're gonna go.
Don't worry, everyone named Alan. You're on my team.
I'm crying. Okay, so are you ready? Because I have not even looked down here yet.
I didn't look at anything yet.
Can I be blue? Is that okay?
Yeah, because watch it play. You're blue, I'm red.
All right. And do you have the right thing over here? I'm red already.
We have our little code set up. We should move that before we pan the camera.
Yeah, right, because that is definitely going to show on screen. And it might even show on screen here.
So I need to give the clue first.
We're going to do I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting here just to get the answer as far away as possible.
Just to make sure no one's
from this.
Okay, I'll start thinking. I'm going to try to think fast though because I understand this is a live show.
Yeah, watching thinking is
and we don't want to just be
ever.
Yeah.
Where's the assassin? Oh, there he is.
I'll try not to lead you guys too much into picking my clues.
Actually, if you do this, I'm going to point it at here so everyone can kind of watch a little bit. The game we are playing is Codenames. Thank you, Spencer Olson, for helping with that. And we're going to go to the table. And this may be horrible, but there we go. And I'll try not to shake too much.
Okay, I am ready.
Okay, excellent. So go ahead and give your clue. So the way this works, we'll give a little tutorial. Again, we have a full instructional video if you don't know how to play. Pep is going to give one word and then a number. And basically what he's saying is there are words on here related to the clue he's going to give in some way. And the number is how many of those words he thinks relates to that.
Welcome to Team Pep, Amanda. Okay.
What do you have? A to Q?
A to Q.
That's not even.
I know.
You are a monster. Okay. I'm going to shake this around on your turn then.
So, Rodney.
Okay.
Quick rule question, because, you do the rules.
Sure.
Can I use names, like people's names?
You're technically not allowed to, I think.
Will you allow it this time?
No.
Well, if it's not a real person.
Fine, go ahead and use it, because it's too late now. I don't want to make you wait for the 2 minutes while you think of something.
Perfect. Okay, so my clue is Smaug 4.
All right.
Smaug 4. I'm saying it weird because I don't know how to say it.
No one knows how to say it. And in the comments, I'm sure we'll get a bunch of people telling us exactly how to say it, and none of them will agree with each other.
I'll just say Smaug 4, just in case I'm saying
All right, so people are going to be now punching in one of their answers, and we'll be looking for the first 3 of the same will be the first thing we do. Now, I don't think we've ever actually done this before, because this could be a total gong show trying to do this.
Okay, so we got 1 on fire, 2 dragon, 3
dragon. 3 dragon.
Boom.
So there's a touch.
Dragon is right. Good work, everyone.
And I think I've seen 3 fire.
Fire is right.
I've seen 3 fly.
Fly is right.
How many did you say? 4?
I said 4.
You're only winning because you're cheating, you horrible person.
Okay, I saw 1 mouth and 1
This is the challenge because people won't realize. I see film a second time, maybe? There's film a third at least.
There's all the films. Let me check.
Yeah, film. There's film again.
All right, film was actually incorrect.
Ooh, I can see why people thought that, though.
Also, I apologize. I broke the rules by saying these were correct. These are just red.
Yes, of course. The reason why Pep would not say correct, because you might accidentally guess the right thing and not realize that there's still something out there related to dragon that you didn't pick yet. So, good point, Pep. Pep, would you mind...
actually, go back to us for a second.
We can go back to us. It gives our hands a break here. You're off to a roaring start.
That's a good one for dragons.
I know. Trying here. All right, I'm going to think about this. See if I can come up with something.
But yeah, good. Great work, everyone. It's really good when you start off the game with getting 3 or 4 right. Oh, let's get the timer out for Rodney. The game does come with a small timer, but I'm going to use this one.
Unbelievable.
You have an hour.
This is not easy. Oh no. Oh my goodness. This is horrific. I'm not supposed to be saying any of that either, by the way, because that's basically giving you guys clues about how difficult this is. So I shouldn't be doing it. I should be totally dead silent. And
this is how not to play.
This is how not to play Codenames.
How do you spell the clue? That was a good question.
Okay, I think something's. Okay, I'm not supposed to say anything.
You're running out of time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're allowed to distract the other people.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. It's going to be difficult. Again, I shouldn't be saying that. All right, let's do this. I'll give you the.
Give me the camera.
Yeah. Let me just look one more time here before I say this out loud. You have to come way back. There we go. And I am going to say. Judge 3. Judge 3. I like someone Wes says, "Be quiet, Team Pep." Way to go, Wes. There's a W. So all you poor people from R and up are with Rodney. Okay. So we're waiting for some answers. The first 3 that are the same will be the first touch that we do.
Oh, and definitely court.
We see court. Oops. Blue.
I love that mine were bouncing around. Every one of yours was court. Oh, mouth. Mouth 4, cloak. Cloak. One more cloak will do it. There's cloak. Oh, I didn't expect cloak. We had a mouth and a 4. Oh no, 4 was from something else.
It's really tricky because in normal Codenames, the team would be like, well, we think it might be mouth, but are we really sure?
There's 3
and they would stop. But in this one, that is not possible. Things are on the move.
We got 3 mouth, definitely. And then 3 posts once mouth is done. So do the mouth first.
Right, I was just even trying to find it on here because it was not. It was not mine. So that ends it. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We're going to come back here. And right now, Pep is winning, and his team of everyone whose first name starts with A to Q are winning, even though you're all supposed to be working together for both of us.
I'm sure they are.
3 points for Pep, 2 points for Rodney.
Do you want to answer a question while I...
You know how far up I'm going to have to scroll to find a question now?
Questions.
Oh, those questions. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you, Pep. I overreacted.
It's all right. Overacting is your middle name.
All right, so one of the questions that we received here was from James Wood. James Wood asked a question actually that I'm not going to answer, so this is a terrible one to pick. His question was, what advice do you have for someone just starting with board game media? And he did say he did watch the presentation we gave at Gen Con, which is over at the Dice Tower show. It's called Board Game Media Do's and Don'ts if you're curious. He asked, I basically really want to know specifically about content and set design advice. The reason why I don't think I want to answer that in a setting like this is because it's such a specific question that would really only be applicable to such a small group of people. I don't think it'd be more of a private question conversation to have, just for the sake, not that it's a private answer, but just because it's probably not relevant to too many people. I will say though, in general and brief, my answers probably wouldn't be very good. It would be something like, well, go find what other people are doing that you like and try to copy that with your own spin on it. Because there isn't really a right answer. It's what do you like in the quality of content? What would you want and would you be comfortable trying to create and present? And I would try to emulate that.
I'm ready.
And do the best that you can. Okay, let's go back to the table. Are we ready for?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
The clue is running 2.
You know what would be awesome? Oh, no, I guess we both need to do this. I wish I could be looking at this, trying to figure out what my next one is.
I mean, I can hold it in front of you.
No, it's fine. Running 2. Oh, let me look at this myself, see what I think. Yeah, I'm interested to see what people say here. Pete Spooner asks, would members of Team Pep be called Peppers?
Oh, there's
We've got Shoe. I've seen 2 car. I've seen 3 boot though. I think I saw 3 boot before I saw 2 car. Before I saw more cars.
Boot was an innocent civilian.
Yeah, and I don't mind if we double check that. Like that's what I quickly saw scanning. You know what I mean? All right. Obviously, neither of us are trying to cheat. If there were 3 cars first, I don't know if that's right or wrong. Anyway, that's what we had. So coming back over to me. So now, Team Pep, 4 points. Team R to Z or Z, 2 points. Here we go.
All right. So Vincent Vignola wants to know, in school, what was your most and least favorite subject? For me, I think most probably would have been drama. I really enjoyed drama and music. Least favorite was definitely chemistry. It was the only thing I ever came close to failing. I just didn't really like the teacher. If he remembers me, that's funny. I just didn't really like the teacher, and so didn't really pay that much attention in class.
All right, Pep.
You have a quick answer for that won't distract you?
Oh, favorite subject? I always enjoyed math, and because it was kind of a problem-solving type of class, so I enjoyed that. I also liked art, though. I liked doing sort of creative things. And least favorite? I wasn't always great at sciences. In university, my least favorite was statistics, despite me saying math a few seconds ago. Had a difficult professor, and I did not get it very good early on. Okay, I think I'm ready, Pep, and I don't...
All right, perfect.
I don't love it. I don't love what I'm going to say here. Again, I shouldn't be saying that. It's so hard not to talk out loud to you guys. In a live show, you kind of want to keep talking to. Is that? Yeah, people can't see this one. Again, that's not an indication. I'm just noticing for quality purposes, people can't see that. All right, here we go. I'm going to say door 2.
That's adorable.
Door 2. Thank you, Wes. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Door 2. All right. Andrew King says, so the other team is Rodders. We got Peppers and Rodders. Rodders is something that Ricky Royal, Box of Delights YouTube content creator, sometimes calls me. Hey, Rodders.
Rodders. Jam. There's 3 jams. Is jam correct?
I know I'm not supposed to confirm that they are right, but I love you guys.
Also 3 cars. Okay, now that was the 2, right?
I said 2. They technically do a bonus, but I don't think we can do bonuses in this one. Maybe until it's a do or die situation, then we can introduce a bonus, because really people are just posting so quickly they don't realize they're in bonus question time.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so what are we at here now? Team Blue has 4. You guys see nothing. Team Blue has 4. Team Red has 4, also known as Peppers and Rodders. Okay, so now Pep is thinking about that. I'm going to put out another question here. These again are questions that we received in the Watch It Played Guild over at BGG. If you're not already on Board Game Geek, I recommend you go over there. Board Game Geek is a fantastic resource for all things board games. There's all kinds of forums and guilds dedicated to not just individual board games, but also different people's blogs and entries and content creators like ourselves. And so if you'd like to go over there, I'm not super active on there, but before live shows, I do give people an opportunity to ask questions in advance, which we queue up here. Are you already ready?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You didn't ask this question already, right?
Not yet.
Michael Vinoy asks, what is your favorite fantasy race, beast, monster, what have you? My favorite fantasy race, if I was playing a role-playing game, I don't get to play them very often. I don't know why, but I'm not so much drawn to elves, but I am drawn to half-elves for some reason. I kind of like that idea of the mixed race there. So half-elves. And if I was going to pick like a beast or monster, like I like dragons, but I think maybe, I don't know. I guess I guess maybe I would go dragons. It feels like such a traditional answer.
I know, and mine is probably dragons as well for like the monstery beast.
Like owl bears are also. You know what? I'll say owl bears. Just to diversify, I'll say owl bears. Dragons are very cool though.
Oh, I love gelatinous cubes.
Okay, there you go. So we love dragons, but there's our follow-ups maybe. Good. What about a fantasy race? Is there a particular race you like to play as?
Honestly, I usually play as human.
Yeah. See, I think that's why I go half elf because I do like role playing. I don't role play enough, so I'm often thinking about role playing a little bit as myself. So I think human. Then I sort of throw in the half elf there to kind of dip my toe into the fantasy element.
Yeah, I like elves as well.
Yeah.
I end up playing elves a reasonable amount. Yeah. Warforged are cool. I like the idea of robot people.
All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to start with
ready?
a simple one. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just go over here.
Autumn 1.
Autumn 1. When you say 1, you know it's desperation time. Okay, Autumn 1.
Yes, our team is definitely called the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Thank you, Gregory.
Ooh. I think we're going to see the answer to this come in very rapid succession once they catch up. Remember, guys, there's a little bit of about a 30-second delay here. So sometimes when we say, go ahead, we've actually been sitting here for a little while.
The first 3 were fall.
The first 65 were fall.
Fall was one of our hints.
Someone also said maple. Okay.
Are there even any questions left on here?
I think we're getting to the end of it. We'll probably have to be getting back to the main one. So I have still to get, I think it's 3 more, right? I need to get, oh no, is that 4 I see?
Yeah, we both need 4, it looks like.
Yes, that's right, we do. Okay.
Codenames is a game I play quite a bit, so.
Oh,
you already have one?
Oh, no. Okay. Yes, I do. I do have one. Yes, I do have one.
Okay, perfect. I can actually just think about our next turn.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go to it.
Let's do it.
We're zipping things along, and I am going to say.
See if I can find a way to steady this.
Resort 2. Resort 2 is my clue for all the rotters out there. Resort 2. Let's see what happens here. Oh, some people are going back and trying to check out. Like Chris is saying, okay, what could the other 4th dragon have been? You notice that? That's smart. I've seen 2 Beijings. I've seen Mexico, Mexico, Mexico.
There's 3 scuba divers first, though.
Was there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went scuba diver, then Mexico. Which I think were the ones you needed anyway, so.
There were 2 of them. I'm not saying they weren't the 2 I was asking for. Those were 2.
Okay, we're going to have to get a little creative here now
Rotters?
on team
We're
Red Hot
small
Chili
but mighty.
Peppers.
I'm assuming we're small because there's less of us. Statistically speaking. Although maybe there are more people with names that are in that end of the alphabet. I don't know.
We're allowed to make motions while we...
I already made a concession for you, allowing you to use a name.
Okay.
Don't push your luck, Pep. You peppers out there.
But we're allowed to make sounds as part of the word. That's the one thing in the rule book, right? Like you're allowed to be expressive with how you say the word.
I think you can be expressive. Yeah,
okay.
Maybe. That was one thing with the rules. There's a lot of like, you can't do this and you can do this. And there's a lot of examples of each. Okay. I like to play the game. Whatever your group wants to do, kind of do.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, boy. I have a feeling we're getting something silly.
That's not that silly.
No? All right. Here we go.
Okay. Fire 2! Fire 2! Okay. Fire!
All right. We get it. Amanda says, come on, Peppers. We need to be on fire.
Hey, that's funny.
She was channeling you there. Fire!
That's what I expect from my A team.
Fire 2. Someone has said court. I don't know if that was in relation. No, court's not even on here, so get covered up.
It's just an old one, I think.
Yeah, maybe someone was really behind. So laser, 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 laser. Laser, 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 laser. And Europe. And drop, and yard, and drop, and drop. There's 3 drops. There's 3 drops. Pep, did they drop the bomb?
They dropped the
bomb. Assassination! Oh.
The other one was thumb, because you fire the laser.
Sorry,
you fire the laser with your thumb.
Oh, I'm sorry, Peppers. Oh, that was kind of exciting. I didn't know if we'd actually hit the assassin.
Well, it was hard because trip, drop, and fall were all there.
Yes.
And you got to find a way to get those other ones out.
Well, actually, when I said resort trip was the one I was going for there.
Yeah,
that in Mexico.
Yeah.
And it was great. They picked up scuba diving. I didn't even think about that, but of course, that's a common thing at a resort is people will go scuba diving.
I thought that was your vague way of getting there. So
my other one was yard, and I wasn't sure how I was going to get to that. What about you? What did you have?
The only other ones left were Centaur and Post.
Okay.
I was originally going to go with Mythical to get Dragon and Centaur, but then I found a four clue.
Yes.
The other Dragon was Fall because of Dragonfall, which is a Shadowrun video game.
Ooh,
but that was super.
That's super deep.
That was super far.
Yes. Well done, everybody. And well, Team Rotters takes this one.
Yeah, that's good. Do we want to do a handshake or something?
Yes, we definitely will. Good job, guys, and good job, all of you, everyone. Good job, good game. And
I'm sorry for disappointing you, everyone whose name starts with 80.
Well, it was really a team game for everyone to chime in on. I'm sure there are people from every spectrum of the alphabet giving answers there. Let's go back. We can actually, you know what? If people would like to ask questions starting now, if there's anything that maybe you asked before and we didn't get to and you'd like to ask, as long as it's not a question of what's your favorite game, what you prefer before this or that. We're probably going to answer your question.
See, that's a good way of doing it because it's possible someone could ask a question earlier and then half an hour later just leave. And then we're not even answering their question
anyway, right? Because
Yeah.
they didn't stick around for the answer.
So, what was the other judge? That's a good question. What was the other judge? Do you remember?
I just said, what did I say? Didn't I say 2 things?
Maybe.
So it was, judge was Cloak. Oh, yes. It was Cloak and Court and Jam. I know that's weird, but like you're in a jam. Do you know what I mean? Like you're in a jam. And man, that was the one I was so thrilled with when people. My brain works in mysterious ways.
Might as well have just been peanut butter.
I was so thrilled when I said door and people said car and jam.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if people would get door jam. And then I also thought, oh, well, people think train. But I think, no, people don't think of opening the train door. They think of a car door, I think, right? But anyway. We do have questions coming in. Thank you, guys. That's wonderful.
Perfect.
And one of them was, what was the other judge question, right?
Oh, Mad Bono 1 wants to know, how much plaid do we each own?
You jumped a couple, did you?
No, I'm first one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped. Good thing you're here to cover my tracks.
What?
Cover my tracks?
That's not what that means.
Because I'm in a jam. So, how much plaid do you both own? Oh, you don't want to know so much. This and another plaid shirt, a similar one, are a recent acquisition.
For me, this type of shirt underneath is the base kind of clothing I wear.
Yes.
So I have at least a dozen
shirts of
this nature. So I'd say probably approximately 20 things.
I don't think it's truly like really a Canadian thing. It's just...
I don't think so. I just wear it because I like the look of it. I don't feel Canadian when I wear this. Although this one's very maple.
I definitely feel Canadian wearing this.
It's kind of got the Canadian color.
Yeah, you do. Maybe it is. Maybe there is something Canadian
now.
about it. Okay.
Straight jacket.
The Holy Fork says, have you thought about including solo rules in your videos?
Sometimes you do.
Yes, on occasion we have. Like I was going to do a playthrough of Legacy, the Testament of Decracy solo, so I did the solo rules for that because I was going to be playing it that way. But I don't really think about it very often. Like usually you get to the end of the video with the solo rules, I say, and the game also comes with solo rules, which I'll leave you to investigate on your own or to look into on your own. But until the next episode, thanks for watching, right? Because I try to keep the videos to a short enough length that someone looks at it and goes, 20 minutes. Okay, I think I can consume that. If I have to add the solo rules in, sometimes I'm either adding so much more extra or I'm adding so little extra in, I feel kind of comfortable saying, well, if that is really something that interests you, I'm of the impression, this could be wrong, that the majority of people who buy a 2 to 4 player game with solo rules are people who are going to be playing it between the player count of 2 and 4, not solo. So I feel like I'm not necessarily, the time and energy put into that is not as big of a payoff for the people watching as is necessarily the case.
I think the important thing to think about too is that in most cases, the solo play is considered a variant, and you generally don't teach the variants to games in the rules.
It's true of variants as well, right? If there's variants, I might refer to them. If I'm like, this will only take a couple seconds, I might refer to them, but generally I don't.
Yeah, if it's like sometimes you can play with this instead of this as a variant.
Yeah,
it's easy enough to mention.
Although I love solo games. So Lord of the Rings Living Card Game is when you can play solo, and I certainly played it solo on the playthrough of that game.
I played through the entire Pathfinder adventure card game solo with one character.
Really? I didn't know you did that.
And I did it with the worst character, so I'll tell you the whole story. So I started playing with 2 friends of mine, Todd and Logan, and we played through with, I think it was the rogue.
You started with me too. We played for a bit.
Yeah, we played for a bit. We played with like the rogue, the cleric, and I think I was the wizard.
Okay.
Anyway, I got so far through the game, it was like, I'm not really enjoying this. And we were in the 4th adventure by then. So I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a new character, and I'm going to play them honestly through the entire thing. Rather
when
than
you said you weren't enjoying it.
Uh-oh.
No, it's kind of like a review. Did you mean the game, or did you mean this particular session with this group?
No, I wasn't enjoying that character.
Oh, that character.
So what I did was I took the bard, which is the worst character to play by yourself, technically.
Yes.
And I played them all the way through up until where they were, and then I joined back in with them with the bard.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had a lot of fun.
Was he super bard by that time?
He was
playing
good.
all kinds of rock songs.
But he was really hard to use solo because in the original game, his ability was to add a D4, possibly +1 to other people at the same location.
Okay.
They did later change him in the Skull and Shackles one that he just adds 1d4 to a character at your location. So
which does make it more flexible.
Can use it on yourself.
That's good.
I don't even remember what I was talking about. Solo games. So yeah, I played through basically the entirety of the original Pathfinder solo.
I'm rolling up just a bit because I think I might have skipped a couple, did I? No. Okay, so now here we are. So Brad Skaggs writes, what's your favorite place to go on vacation that's not board game related?
Mine's Seattle.
I think the travel I've done lately has been has been very much board game related. But I have had the pleasure of going on a couple of cruises with my family, and I do enjoy cruises as a vacation.
Like Tom Cruise? Or?
Like a Tom Cruise. No, I really enjoy going to cruises. The most expensive part of the cruise, really, in a lot of ways, is the flight. If you were to cost it, what it costs to get a hotel room, pay food for your family, and all the rest of it. In a lot of ways, cruise is actually very equivalent to a hotel cost.
Yeah, I've heard that.
The trick for us is actually getting to where the cruise takes off from. There are actually cruises that come into PEI. If people are interested in never visiting the island, you can get cruises here. Oftentimes when I'm here, I want to leave and go somewhere much warmer, like in the winter. But
that's true.
Let's see. Amanda Pandawong writes, what famous person would you want to play a board game with?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, that's an...
And you can't use that one.
Okay. Fine.
Although I'd like to play with you and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I would enjoy that.
Really fun, yeah.
I haven't given that a lot of consideration.
I would just love to hear the way that he thinks about the board game, because he's so vocal with how he thinks about everything.
Right.
I'd love to sit down, play a really complicated, maybe some people like it, some people hate it kind of board game, and just hear his opinions on why he likes it or why he doesn't like it.
Okay.
I think it'd be great.
I mean, my favorite famous person I've already played a board game with, and that's Rich Sommer. I'm trying to think of somebody else who I would think would enjoy playing board games, and
Vin Diesel.
He's more of a role player. Maybe he's into board games. Jorge Garcia from Lost.
Yeah.
He loves board games. I'd love to get a chance to sit down and play a game with him. There we go.
I didn't realize we had to pick someone who liked board games. I don't know if
you don't have to. I just think I would prefer. I think
I want to be there. I want to have Bill Nye there too, just so that I can hear them argue while they play the board game.
Wouldn't they agree on a lot of things?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe they would argue about the strategy.
They argue a lot.
Okay.
They agree, but they argue.
Let's see. Rolling dice and taking names. Marty, this is a
loaded question.
You're loading this question. What's your favorite drink mug? My favorite drink mug are those Contigo travel mugs. They're like aluminum metallic things. They have this perfect seal. You can shake that thing all over the place. Nothing comes out of it. They're awesome for washing. They keep stuff hot or cold for ages. And guess where mine is?
Marty has it.
In North Carolina. With Marty Cannell of Rolling Dice Taking Names. Because the last time we were at a convention, I had one, and I don't know, it ended up in his stuff somehow.
Were you sleeping with him?
We did share a bed at one point or another. Anyway, somehow it ended up with just me sleeping with him. Rodney, is that your Contigo Thermos, or are you just happy to see me? So that would be my favorite mug, and I hope someday to get it back.
Curtis Mellifist wants to know, if I was in PEI, could I stop by for a visit?
No.
The answer for me is definitely yes. Stop on by, especially on a Wednesday night.
Teasing.
Usually we have our friendly local game nights.
Sometimes people are on the island and they will contact me and say, hey, is there time for us to get together? A lot of the times people come to the island, they tend to be going to Charlottetown or Summerside or the touristy spots, and that's actually not really next door to me. So then actually going to visit someone would involve rearranging my day somewhat, and so that's not always convenient for me. So a lot of the times the answer has to be no. If the small print games cafe is open and someone's in, that's a great place to meet up.
That's true. You will find people playing board games there.
Yes, exactly. But do check the hours in advance before you go. Heretic Dave asks, what did we do before Watch It Played? We've answered this one before, but I'll quickly say I was a finance officer with Health Canada for 10 years. Then left that job for reasons to move with my family, and then was doing had my own small business before I launched Watch It Played.
I didn't realize 10 years. I also worked for 10 years at a call center. I was workforce management there. I didn't realize you worked 10 years. We both had tenure.
That's right. We both had tenure at our jobs. Aeromax says Will Wheaton, as in, like, I think to the question of famous person. And
no.
I did play with him a game already. Seven Wonders. Was that first year at Gen Con?
I don't count Will Wheaton as famous. He's just some guy.
He's pretty famous. And I beat him. I beat him. I didn't win, but I did get a higher score than Will Wheaton, so that was my claim to fame there.
That's pretty good. Oh, I saw something I want to answer so bad.
I think I skipped like a few things.
Let's stop moving.
I'm sorry.
Horst de Eer Ill wants to know, what's your favorite cake? Mine is Black Forest cake.
Marble cake. My
like
mother's.
Marbles in it?
My marble.
Your marbles? You're losing them, I think.
My mother's marble cake is my favorite cake.
Black Forest cake, I already said, but I'll say it again.
Say it again.
Every birthday, I buy a Black Forest cake, and I eat it all myself.
Do you have a favorite Black Forest? Like, is it your favorite because, I don't know, like a certain relative made it, or you just love it in general?
Listen. Anytime anyone else has made me a Black Forest cake, it has been really bad. So if you want to make me a Black Forest cake and it's amazing, I'll love you forever.
So why do you like it then? You bought it at stores?
I buy them at stores.
Okay,
Just go to Sobeys. Tim Hortons used to make Black Forest cakes and bow ties and hot apple cider and blueberry fritters.
Okay, Matt.
And now they don't make any of them.
Please don't ask these questions that get him all upset like this. This is gonna take.
I have to eat a whole one myself. If anyone eats a piece of my Black Forest cake, I have to buy a new one. It's a strange condition.
Matthew Thomas, I think, is asking, how do you rate your experience with mixing a board game with an app? Do you find yourself still involved with the players, or were you all just gathered around? I don't know if Matthew's asking specifically about a particular game, like, say, Mansions of Madness. I know in that game, for myself personally, I spent a lot of time on the board. Yes, you do have to read what's happening next. There's events that happen. You're definitely interacting with the app, but not everyone's generally doing it. One person's doing that and reading it, what's happening, and kind of bringing to life what's happening on the board.
Yeah, I think for most games that have an app involved as part of the board game, you're going to find a similar experience where the app is pretty secondary. People aren't going to hover over it. But I'm going to take this question away outside of the box.
Bring it back.
And I'm going to assume that they mean like you and me sitting down and playing Pathfinder, for example, pass and play on the iPad. Do you find that you're just staring at the iPad, or are we interacting with each other the way we would in a regular game? And I'm going to say that it takes away from it.
I would say it too.
Because all we do is focus on the app 90% of the time.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of
the whole focus of your attention does have to be kind of on this thing in front of you. There's something about it being kind of spread out here, especially because we probably sit across from each other or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it does seem like that would change it.
Plus, on an app, let's say I have the ability to use your cards, or you can give me your cards.
Yes.
I will just physically press the button and go look at what's in your hand. Whereas in a real tabletop game, I'm not going to reach across the table, grab your hand, and look at it, and then push it back.
Do that.
But I would do that in an app.
Let's see here. Trevin had a question about recommendations, which I tend to avoid. Gregory Blickley asks, what's the best movie that you last watched?
Kubo and the Two Strings. I wanted to impressed. See that. It's very good. Or I found it very good.
And I'd love to see that movie.
I was very impressed. I forgot that it was all done in like clay stop motion ahead of time. Although as it gets to the end, you do start to feel the CGI that they used to piece it all together bleeding through a little bit. Yeah. There's like a final scene that is very, like, you can suddenly the CGI is like, oh, there it is.
I watched a little like video showing them like working on it. It's
I saw something like that too. It was really cool.
I'm drawing a complete blank on the last movie that I saw. I've got Captain America: Civil War on Blu-ray, sitting at home, waiting to have 2 hours or so to sit down with my family and watch it. It just hasn't happened yet, but I cannot wait to watch that. And Luke Cage on Netflix coming in 3 days. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I love Marvel Netflix series.
Yeah, I can't wait. I feel I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, please don't.
But I think it's going to be the best one.
Ooh,
I think it's going to be better than Daredevil, and I think it's going to be better than Jessica Jones at what Jessica Jones was doing. Like, Jessica Jones was doing something different than Daredevil, so I think this is also going to be different, and I think it's going to be different better than Jessica Jones was. And I really liked both.
Try to keep my expectations down so they can be exceeded. If you start here, it can be difficult, but...
For me, Jessica was actually above Daredevil.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think I still put Daredevil above Jessica, but again, in general, just so impressed with how they're bringing those characters to life. Awesome. If you notice some content drop off around the 30th, but
I'm a binge watcher.
I have never sat and binge watched a show, even though I kind of work from home and that. I'm pretty good at keeping at a regimented schedule with my work, but it usually means staying up a little later in the evenings, binge watching. So
that's actually why I binge watch.
Yes.
Because let's say, hypothetically, you're watching it and you watch 3 episodes a day or 2 episodes a day. You're actually cutting out 2 hours of the day you would have been doing something else.
Right.
Whereas for me, I binge watch the whole thing and I basically say, I'm not doing anything today other than watching this. And then I'm completely back to normal afterwards.
That is one way of looking at it.
And it feels like a huge movie.
Yes. Yeah. I think there's a lot of the times those are almost better experiences that way, because most storytelling, I think all shows in general this works this way. Most times you go back and watch it afterwards, it's more natural.
To watch it all, yeah.
Right, because you wouldn't normally stop for a week and then the story continues. Like, usually things pick up where they left off.
Especially a shorter show. If it's 10 episodes, 15 episodes, it feels like it's supposed to be read that way.
Michael Galagos asks, does Pep live close to you? In my heart, always.
But seriously, we also do.
Yeah, we do. Like, it's a drive. It's a 1.5 minute drive, maybe.
Yeah, and like a 5 to 6 minute bike ride, 15 to 20 minute walk.
15 to 20 minute walk, yeah.
About a 10 minute run, maybe 11 minutes. Maybe if I go through the trail back behind, it's about 45 minutes if I want a scenic route.
That's true.
Unless I get lost and it's about an hour.
It takes longer.
And that's happened.
Yeah, I know. Scott Tackett would like to know if we like poutine. Yes, yeah. I don't eat copious amounts of it.
Have you ever gone to Hungry Ghost?
No.
I suggest it. It's beside Dooley's in Charlottetown, and they make
great
custom poutine. You can get the monster or a cheeseburger poutine. They're really, really good.
Any of you people visiting Charlottetown, check out the poutine.
Hungry Ghost. I think I call it Pizza and Poutine Co. But
Wes Swingley asks, where do we grow up? I grew up in Halifax, Nova Scotia. In fact, Word Burglar, a rapper who just released a video called Channel Halifax, is awesome. It's so many Halifax references. I actually tweeted out recently. Just Google Word Burglar. He's like the Hamburglar of words, which I think is fantastic.
Do you like Picnic Face?
I haven't listened to.
They're like a comedy sketch group from Halifax.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'll check them out.
I think one of their first videos was called All About Halifax. Oh, it's pretty funny.
I will definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Sean, the Word Burglar, he actually worked at the comic book shop that I used to buy all my comic books from, and still buy all my comic books from, because I am loyal to them till the end. They're a fantastic shop, and they're located in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I've got something in my eye. Where did you grow up?
It's because you're sad, I think. Memories. I was born in Barrie, Ontario. I lived there until I was about 4 years old, and then I moved here. And I've lived here all my life. I grew up in a little town little road called Peters Road, directly across from my elementary school. Elementary? 1 through 8? Elementary.
Not for me. Elementary was primary through 6.
Oh, okay.
Grade 6. And then junior high was 7 to 8, and then high school was 9 to 12, and then university after that.
Yeah, our school, Southern Kings Consolidated, I'm giving a lot of information, was weird because it went 1 through 8, but then whenever we got to middle school or whatever it was called, the middle school was 6 to 9 or 7 to 9 or whatever. So we got to that school. We were only there for a year, and then went to high school. It was awkward.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Okay. Fascinating content, though, everyone.
But that's why in Montague, the travel is grade 8 travel, because it happens then, and then whenever you move over to grade 9. Yeah, that's why, because there's a couple schools that are 1 to 8, and there's some that are 1 to 6.
Wes asks, you don't review games, but do you have any favorites for their art?
Good work. You ask a question, he'll answer.
Do you have an immediate answer? Just jump in. Like, I'm just trying to think. I love the art. You just jump in. Oh wait, I know what I'm going to say. Shall I? Quickly?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
The Gallerist. I love the graphic design and presentation of that game. I think it's phenomenal. I love the art and presentation of Scythe.
Oh yeah.
I love the art and presentation of Mechs versus Minions. I'm going to say Kemet.
Really? Kemet doesn't particularly like nothing that stands out to me.
It's Kemet.
Oh, you can't do that. Like, I love Lords of Waterdeep.
I can do it. I just did.
Which, by the way, for the worker placement,
I love
Lords
the
of
art.
Waterdeep
I love for Marty. I love the artwork on Strike.
Oh, stop! Now you're just wasting time.
Yes. Abyss artwork.
Oh cool. Yeah, Abyss was good.
Do you have a couple of picks? And there's so many more. I'm sure I'm missing.
I hate to be super lame, but Dixit. I really like the artwork from Dixit. A lot of the Dixits.
Very good answer. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's for. What other game comes to mind? Shadowrun, anything that's Shadowrun related, they usually use the Shadowrun artwork, and I'm a big fan of the type of artwork that Shadowrun uses.
Yes, like I like the aesthetic. I mean, Magic the Gathering. Amazing artwork.
Yeah.
Like, so much good artwork on so many of the sets.
Even though I don't play too much Magic anymore, like for the past few years, I have to say I'll still see some art come out in new sets, and I'll set it to like my desktop background because it's just... Some of the card art is amazing. Like, it's an actual art piece that I would probably buy, assuming there wasn't card text attached to it. Yeah.
I stopped listening to you about 10 seconds ago and then kind of jumped back in. But I just realized the one game I should absolutely have said.
Oh.
Ashes, Rise of the Phoenixborn.
Oh, yeah. Ashes.
Fernanda Suarez.
Fantastic.
Is such a good artist. I mean, amazing. And her work is all on display in that game.
What game did I play recently? The deck builder we were talking about earlier.
Aeon's End?
Aeon's End has some really fantastic art.
Okay.
Yeah, I played that recently.
Indie boards and cards and games.
Indie boards and cards and games.
We're getting close to, like, it's going to have to be lightning round here. We shouldn't call it lightning round because that's other people's thing. What's our, like, rapid fire? Maybe it's rapid fire?
We'll call it the yes-nos. Just the
yes-nos? The yes-nos? I like that. The yes-nos.
The yes-nos. Trent Turner wants to know Star Trek, Star Wars, or Battlestar Galactica.
That I want to answer quickly. Douglas Pearson asks, what game are you most excited about playing that you have not yet played?
Ooh.
Answer, I'm dying over here.
I don't... What do you do? Okay, what game?
Combat Commander.
Perfect.
I cannot wait to play that game. It's been sitting on my shelf for too long. I haven't played a war game in ages. I've heard Rich Summer rave about it. I've heard... Who else I hear rave about it recently? Everyone ever talks about it, raves about it. And I really want to get this game played.
For me, I'm going to say Mechs versus Minions. I haven't tried it yet.
Yes, I look forward to it.
And, yeah, it seems interesting.
I think it might be up your alley. We'll see. So, yes, I think, are we into the yes-nos now?
No. Well, first we better ask, Trent Turner wants to know, Star Trek, Star Wars, or Battlestar Galactica?
Star Wars for me.
Really?
Jamie would kill me because he loves Battlestar Galactica. He thinks it's like perfect television. I did really like Battlestar Galactica. There's a part of me that wants to say it because I almost feel like there's more show there to dive into. Like, when I think of Star Wars, I don't think of the extended universe. I don't think of all the books and the comics and all that. I never really paid attention. I think of the core movies. And so I feel like I spent, in many ways, more time with the Battlestar Galactica characters because there's just so many episodes of it.
So
I never really watched Star Trek aside from the new movies, if you can believe it or not.
Funny enough, I'm just going to admit to everyone out there that I've never really watched Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
And feel free to shame me for it because I should have. And it's just it's one of those things that got too big by the time I was interested, and I haven't put aside the time to watch it all.
Yeah.
Like, if I hadn't been into Star Trek originally, I'm not sure I would go back and watch all the Star Treks. Like, that's a big undertaking. Star Trek is my favorite.
Yeah.
Star Wars is definitely a close second, mostly because of laser swords. If they had laser swords in Star Trek, I'd just be...
That'd be the end of it.
I'd be
all
there.
the sci-fi could just leave.
Yeah, all of the sci-fi. I really liked Andromeda, to be honest. That was
yeah.
a weird one that isn't usually a super talked about show.
I wouldn't say. But
Kevin Sorbo, you know, Hercules in space. I mean,
what's not to like? Yeah, Star Trek for me was that I've always been rather. This is a hang up I have. If I get into a show, I want to watch everything.
Yes.
So I never watched Star Trek growing up. It's just not something me and my dad did, which I think sometimes that's something that happens with people. Watch a show with your parents. And so I came to it very late, and I felt like if I start, I have to go back to I would go back to the beginning if it was me, and that's just too much. So I just never started.
Wait, the beginning of the Next Generation.
No, I would go back. I would feel like I would want to go back to everything, and that's
don't do that.
I know I can't do it. I'm not
like most people don't even.
But I have been enjoying the remake movies, which may be sacrilege to some. I don't know how it.
Did you see the new one?
I have not. I meant to.
I haven't either. We should go together.
I would like to.
To the theaters and not see it because let's go to the drive-in.
Wait, we're at 90 minutes. It's past. It's now yes no time. Okay, and it's yes no, and then if there's a one-word answer, like a quick two-word, we can do it. All right,
that's fair. So everyone, be prepared. We're doing yes nos. Feel free to add some at the end that you think would be hilarious to have to answer.
When did you start Watch It Played?
No,
5 years ago. Is Gerald Gallant the most famous person on PEI?
No. Was that Boomer Gallant?
I have no idea.
If you're talking about Boomer, then yes.
That's how unpopular to me. They recently mentioned another page like BGG. What is the name? I don't know. What would I have mentioned? I would like to repeat it if I could.
Will Wheaton is a question mark again. I'm going to say yes this time.
Will Wheaton, yes. Oh, stop it.
What did you do? You went too far.
Did I go up too far or down too far?
Oh, yeah, keep going up. There's a lot of questions.
Oh, my goodness.
You're welcome, Curtis.
There we go. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I don't know why it jumped so far. This is a speed round. We should be slowing down. Boom, boom, boom. Have you seen the One Night Ultimate Alien campaign? No. Well, yes. Didn't really pay much attention to it.
Oh, we missed one. Which of the two of us is more of the alpha gamer?
Going down.
Neil Young or Bryan Adams? You're skipping a lot of these. What about $90 for plastic tokens?
Neil Young.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Yeah. Oh, Bryan Adams. That's one of the question.
They should be putting all bold question.
Do either of you have experience playing classic RPGs like D&D, etc.?
No.
Yes. What game do you only play with a house rule?
None.
I can't think of any. Yeah.
Speed round. Yes, no round, I mean. Okay. Looking for questions. Ermac, ever play a game from Avalon Hill? Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ambush, Empires and Arms.
Oh, every Axis and Allies. Heathen Jr. wants to know, have we ever played a certain game but cannot get a hold of it? Ever wanted to play a game but couldn't get a hold of it?
Yes.
Necromonicon or whatever?
Necromunda have now gotten a hold of it, so I guess.
I'm going to say yes as well.
But for a long time, I wasn't able to. What are your favorite games from your childhood? Many.
Yes.
Yes.
Wes, yes. It's just yes or no.
His question was yes or no. Yes. Bryce, any chance you do more playthroughs and less of the how to plays? No. But there'll be more gameplays. Did I just jump a whole bunch again?
Oh, we did forget Ryan Lockett for art.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
All that art is great.
All right, we're getting down there. Pete Spooner, boxers or briefs? Boxer briefs.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, technically. Yeah, boxer briefs.
Brad, is this the last question? No.
Willie Loomis, Benny Hill fans? No.
No. I really could be. Haven't watched enough. Spencer, Combat Commander on Watch It Played? No.
Bryce, question. Ever consider doing gaming streams on Twitch? Briefly.
Yes, and have done them. Oh. We did Zombicide on Twitch originally before we actually brought it back over to YouTube.
I just assumed that they meant video games, yeah, because it's Twitch. But that's good.
Have you heard anything from Paul and Storm? No.
No.
We're almost done there.
Do you know some Queen Game games?
Yes. Will you ever visit California?
Yes. I have an aunt that lives there. Okay.
Okay. Is it better to know or guess? No.
Yes.
Always better to know.
I like to know.
Yeah, me too. A lot of people were guessing around the Mechs vs. Minions release. A lot of incorrect information got out there.
Are you Monty Python fans?
Yes.
Rabbit.
Okay, I think we're done. We've gotten to the end. Curtis wants to know, will you do a gaming tour? Interesting question. I don't know what that means. I'm trying to imagine what kind of shape that would take. Every time I do a convention, I feel like I'm kind of doing a game tour because I'm going somewhere, I'm playing a bunch of games, usually with hopefully a bunch of people, or at least seeing a bunch of people. But actually going, hey, boom, 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 across the country or around.
Yeah, I don't know what that would...
I don't really know what that would be like.
I feel like that would be... Before we'd do that, we'd go to Essen. Yeah. I think we'd go to Essen before we'd set up a multi-game engagement.
I mean, it sounds like it would be fun. There would have to be a purpose behind it and beneficial in some way to people.
Fans of Firefly, hate to admit it, also haven't seen Firefly.
Question, Coke or Pepsi? Coke.
Pepsi because it has my name in it.
All right, that's true. Fair enough. All right, we're done. That's it. Thank you guys for joining us for another live. It's done. We're done, Pep. I can see you reading. We're finished.
I'm always reading.
That was another live episode. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more content on the channel soon, including the continuation of our Mansions of Madness playthrough, apparently Arcane Academy playthrough. And
no playthrough.
Sorry. Instructional video.
Back, instructional. And then a playthrough immediately following.
We don't know about that. And some more Mechs vs. Minions content if you'd like to see some more.
Are we going to do a playthrough of that?
We'll see.
And, I like that.
And until the next episode, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Oh no, I can't find how to stop this stream. Only 5 minutes over.
That's not bad.
Good job, everyone. Take care. We'll see ya. Oh, I have to say, okay.